today's video, we're gonna do a first impression review video of the Huda Beauty Naughty palette. Beautiful friends, welcome back to my channel. This is Miss May. In my channel, I do a variety of lifestyle content and beauty and makeup videos. So before we start, make sure you subscribe, ring the notification bell, and give this video a thumbs up. Smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm. I really appreciate your support. Okay, recently Sephora is having their VIB sale. This year, there were actually not a lot of makeup products launched all through the year. So during the holiday season, all different brands are launching new products. Today, I was scrolling through Sephora. I saw a new palette launched by Huda Beauty. Ta-da! I know. This is the Huda Beauty Naughty palette. Actually, it was launched yesterday. At first, I wasn't really sure if I wanted to pick this up because I felt like I already have several Huda Beauty palettes, and you know, it's the nude palettes. I have the original nude palette. So I was debating if I wanted to pick this up, but after watching 5 review videos, I finally decided to just pick it up during today's video. We're gonna do a first impression review video of the Huda Beauty Naughty palette. This one is priced at $67. I think it's the same price as the other Huda Beauty palette. So I felt like rather than buying those mini palette, I would rather buy the full-size palette because I do think it's a little bit better formula. And also I felt like the mini palettes, there's some shades in each palette that I already own, and I wanted like 3 shades across 3 different palettes. But here we go, we got a brand new palette. Yay. And I think it was launched on a Monday. Can I just say, if it was launched during the weekend, I could definitely pick it up in store. I'm very excited about this Naughty Nude eyeshadow palette. It's a plastic packaging. I do appreciate this plastic package rather than the cardboard. I feel like it's more long lasting. It protects the palette a little bit more. This is what the palette looks like. Wow, it is just so pretty. Can I just say, it's just so pretty. Initially, I was debating because at least I think I saw 3 shades I already own, but I also saw some really unique shades like this one. I think a lot of the review videos are either loving them or hating. So the first impression of the color story is that it's more towards the nude, but towards the plum type of tone. But at the same time, it's not like pinky pink like the original nude palette. It has this chocolatey undertone. So to me, I feel like this is like chocolate raspberry chocolate. It's like plum toned chocolatey palette. So it definitely caught my eye. I think there are definitely some shades I probably already own or something similar. This one, the Desire, I felt like I have something similar. And these 2 shades, I think I have it in the Mercury Retrograde. I think we will do swatches a little bit later. And this pink shades, I think I have that one. So there are definitely some colors. Oh, I think this one is also in Mercury Retrograde. So that's why I was debating if I wanted to pick this up, because I felt like at least 3 to 4 shades I already own either in the original nude palette or in the Mercury Retrograde. But still, I wanted to try this one, and that one. Those shades are very different, and I don't know, between this one and the Natasha Denona palette they're gonna launch, I think it's tomorrow, I would choose this one because, you know, it's half of the price. So I'm very excited to do the first impression. So now let's talk about the controversy. The first controversy that I heard about is about the shade Slippery. So this shade is actually a pearl jelly texture type of shade. I heard that it's actually not very comfortable because, you know, it's like jelly, slippery like of shade and it has pearls in there. But different people actually get different products just because, you know, some people may accidentally get more pearls, others may accidentally get more pigments. And another controversy was with the name Please Me, Shameless, and then this shade is Please YouTube Don't Demonetize Me, like filthy. I don't know, like I don't like some of the color names versus like others, like if you're talking about like Desire, Irresistible, Flower Powder. I do think those color names are pretty good. So I think some of the names, I don't know, like if I want to say it out loud in my YouTube, I don't want YouTube algorithm to just say, wait, why are you saying these words in your video? It's probably inappropriate. I do like the concept. I just felt like maybe I don't know. So let me know in the comments what you feel about it. I don't care if I buy it for myself, but if I want to buy this palette for, let's say, a family member who's like 18, 19 years of age, even after they turn 18, I still feel like, I don't know, maybe I'll wait once they're 21. I don't know. So just let me know in the comments. I think the metallic shades in this palette are definitely very unique and special, so I'm very excited to try it. I already got my makeup brushes. I'm very excited to try it on my face, so let's get started. First shade, I want to choose a base color, so maybe I'll choose this color that's called Hypnotic. And so I'm just gonna create this color just to have some like nude base color on my eyes. Wow, it's so pigmented. Wow, can you guys see it? So pigmented. I think the color is more pigmented and blendable than the Mercury Retro. Whoa. The powders, okay guys, do you see it? The powders are definitely towards the powdery side, but to me it's better. I actually prefer it to be more powdery because I feel like they're more blendable and they're more pigmented. Really depends on the preference, but that is something that I actually don't like about Mercury Retrograde because the colors are actually not powdery at all, so it was a little bit harder to blend. Okay. Alright, I want to say that was not completely base color. I think this is the flower powder. I really wanted to try it out. So let's see if we could blend it. Whoa, it's one of those like gold color that's like really powdery. It's actually not. It's kind of like metallic, but not so much metallic. I don't know. Definitely super pigmented. So you just have to go in a little bit light-handed. This is like one of those like caramel to gold color, like coffee latte color. Actually, it's actually really pretty. Okay, I would need a metallic for inner. Can't trick this one. This is a gold color. It's really pigmented, but maybe you may need a primer because you do have quite a bit of fallout. Just be careful. This is the first time you try it. I would recommend to do your eyes first before your foundations and stuff, but of course I wanted to do my foundations first because, you know, I want to cover my acne right there. So, but I would totally do my eyes first before my face because it's actually really powdery with quite a bit of fallout. To me, it doesn't really matter as long as it's blendable. Me, I really don't like powders that are really patchy and hard to blend because it will make me look like I'm super noob in makeup, which I am not professional. I didn't go to a makeup school or something, but I've been doing makeup for a while. If you see, there's quite a lot of fallout, but look how pretty. Look at how pretty the shades are. I think the fallout actually makes it very pigmented and blendable. It's not a deal breaker for me, but if you don't like that, make sure you take that into consideration when considering purchasing this palette. And then I want to use the color Juicy. Juicy is this color. These two are quite similar. I wanted to use something that's more cool toned and less pink or orange, so I chose this color. I'm gonna put it a little bit towards the side. Oh wow, this is still really, oh, the pigmentation, oh my gosh. Maybe I should choose the color Rough. So we're gonna instead put a little bit of Rough on the outside corner of my eyes. Kinda need a clean brush to blend, but I didn't wash my brush. Then we're gonna go in with a little bit of Police Me. We're trying everything. This one, Police Me. Okay, this one is also this caramel color. We're gonna put it in this right here. In the center of my eyes. Just need some contour of the outside corner of the eyes. So here I'm thinking about using the color either spicy or naughty. This is naughty and this is spicy, maybe naughty. Both of them are chocolate color, but one is more warm than the other one. I ended up using the color spicy, and we're just gonna... Okay, so after this, I'm gonna use a little bit of maybe, whatchamacallit, concealer. I don't know. But definitely do your shadows first, but this color is so pretty. I think this palette is the opposite of Glam palette, because the Glam palette is like absolute cool tone with a little bit of golden color, versus this one is like all very, very warm, chocolatey plum with a little bit of cool tone plum color. Okay, so, oh wow. I actually don't have colors like this. This kind of reminds me of the Pumpkin Spice palette that Too Faced launched. Okay. With the under lash line, I wanted to use the color maybe Arouse or Juicy, maybe Juicy. Little bit of the color right here. The whole palette color story is more towards like a full glam. Wow. It's actually really pretty. I actually really enjoy this palette. I do think I made a good decision purchasing this palette. Okay, so now it's the time to do the slippery, I guess. Oh, this color. This is this very special jelly-like pearl color. First, before I do anything on my eyes, I just want to swatch it. I heard that some people get more colors than the other, so I'm not sure if I wanted to do it on my eyes because I don't see anything. Actually, I don't know. I don't know. I actually didn't get a lot of pigments in my palette, so I was thinking maybe no. Maybe I don't want to put it on my eyes because it's just, there's no pigment. Guess you could. Okay, I just said I don't want to, and then I did, and then I don't think anything happened, which is a good thing and a bad thing. I don't think it did anything on my eyes really. So I guess that's it for the look. Alrighty, now let's look at the swatches of this palette. I basically swatched in front of the camera just now, so you can tell that my hands were shaky a little bit because I didn't eat lunch, I didn't eat dinner. I'm pretty hungry, so my hands a little bit shaky today. Okay, so the first impression of all of the swatches is all of the shades are super pigmented. Actually, extremely pigmented, especially this one. I actually didn't expect this color to be this pigmented, but it's just this pretty burgundy color. The only color that's a little bit weird is this rubbery, slippery type of color. It looks more like a film than actual color. So, but overall, this is the color story. It has some more bronzy, golden color, some plum purplish color, some pink color, and some chocolate color. So there are 4 different types of looks that you can create, and I'm really happy with the formula. The colors are so easy to swatch. It's like out of nowhere, it was just like swatch like a huge mess because they just wash super easily and they don't actually leave out the color or pigments on my fingers, which is definitely really nice as well. So I'm actually really happy about the swatches. Now let's compare this palette with some of the other Huda Beauty palettes that I actually own. If you own the mini Huda Beauty palettes, maybe this one is not great for you because I think a lot of the shades already in the mini nude palettes, but there are also shades that they don't have it. So I feel like a lot of times it really depends on your luck whether you make the decision to wait until the end of the year to see if Huda Beauty released any new palette. But to me, I always knew that during this season. I remember 2 years ago, it was this palette. Last year, it was the Mercury Retrograde. So every November, they release some sort of palette like this. And I think during the summer, they release some like smaller palettes, maybe for travels, like summer of the... Always wait for those big palettes, and they usually price basically similar. I do own the original nude palette, so let's just compare them side by side. Now that when I open the original palette, I still think it's like absolutely gorgeous. You can tell the original nude palette, it has more lighter toned color versus the naughty one is definitely for a night look. So day look and a night look. If you look closer, you will see these two shades kind of look similar, and these two shades kind of also look similar. I think there are at least 2 shades in both palettes kind of look similar to each other. So originally, when I saw this palette being launched, I was a little bit on the fence because I felt like if it just repeats the same shade, I don't want to spend extra money. But if you look closer, I do think there are only 2 or 3 shades that are similar, and there is a difference in terms of the undertone, because this one, the undertone is always pink and purple. This one, the undertone is more browns and chocolate. One is for day look and one is for night look. And I felt like the pigmentation of the Naughty Nude palette is higher than the original nude palette, but both palettes are really, really pigmented. Compare this palette with the Mercury Retrograde. I also saw some shades that kind of repeat this palette. I think it kind of makes sense, right? Because if you have one shade that performs well, you do want to repackage and just resell it, because like people may actually really like it, may not want to necessarily purchase the same palette because they also have other shades. Those two both have some ways because they're not cardboard packaging. That's an improvement. If we compare those two, we'll see Mercury Retrograde is definitely towards the cool tone side versus the Naughty Nude is more warm toned chocolate pumpkin spice color story. But I think there is one shade that's kind of similar. If you look right here, these two colors quite similar. This is the color Filthy, and this is color Crash. See, they kind of look a little bit different. One is more warm, the other is more cool, but not that much of the difference. I think the main difference between those two are the different undertones, but there are only like 1 or 2 shades that kind of similar, versus I think between those two, difference is in the undertone. One is more pinky and a little bit cool toned. I think the original nude palette is more cool toned versus the new palette is more warm toned. And now let's do a overall review of this palette. Is it really worth it? Okay, first of all, the color story, it's so unique. This year, Huda Beauty launched the mini palette. I just didn't really feel for it because it's either too cool toned or too purplish or too warm toned, too pinky. But this one, I felt like you do get a little bit of both. You do get some pinky shade, some plum purplish shade, and also some golden shade and chocolatey shade. There's some neutral colors, some warm tone colors, and some colors and a little bit towards the cool tone side. So overall, I do think this palette is very versatile. You can create a different type of look. At least I can see myself create 4 different makeup looks using this palette, so I do think it's really worth the price. In terms of the quality of the powders, I do really enjoy this type of more powdery formula, just because to me they're more pigmented, they're easier to blend. The only drawback is they're more fallouts compared to the other Huda Beauty palettes. So if you don't really mind about fallouts, I do really recommend this one. I think you do get better look and more long-lasting look, and it's more user-friendly. But just remember, if it's the first time you make sure you do the eye look first and before you put some complexion products. Overall, it really didn't bother me. The only shadow that I felt like has a lot of fallout is this one, which is called the Flower Powder. I know this one, the flower powder, I think this shade does have a more fallout compared to the other ones. I feel like the majority of metallics and full mattes are okay, but these like caramel swirl type of shades may be more powdery and more fallouts because, you know, you do need different pigments to basically swirl them together to create this type of look. So I do understand. Last one is about the slippery shade. I don't know, like I was really curious and excited because I've never seen this type of formula, but I don't think it's gonna work out for me. I saw a lot of different opinions over this. Some people loved it because it's better for them to create a studio look, but to me, maybe it's just this piece of a shade that I got is not pigmented. I did try to put on my eyes. It did not feel great because it's slippery. It's more like a film, a jelly-like film. I feel like it's taking away the metallic shades. I don't really feel for it, but I don't know, maybe one day I'll try just this color by itself to see whether it's worth it or not. It didn't really work out for me, but it's just one shade of the entire palette. And it happens to Huda Beauty palette for me all of the time. I love almost every shade in this palette except for this one, the concealer. This concealer just doesn't work out for me. I know different people have different preferred complexion products, especially when it comes to like eye primer, eye concealer. So I think a lot of times when I buy Huda Beauty eyeshadow palette, I felt like they're always trying to try innovative ideas in an eyeshadow palette, and I do appreciate it. So it really didn't bother me. Maybe if I tried it multiple times, maybe I will like it a little bit more. My review is I do really recommend it. I do think it's worth the price. I do think you can use it a lot, especially during the fall season and holiday season. It's definitely a glam, full glam palette. Alrighty, that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you like it, please give it a thumbs up. It really helps me out with the YouTube algorithm. I don't make money if you give thumbs up or subscribe, but it really helps me to build the community. And also don't forget to subscribe to this channel. It's free, and ring the notification bell so that you won't miss out any future content. And check out my other lifestyle content and my recent purchase from Sephora, my recent Sephora haul. Thumbs up, subscribe, ring the bell, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!